record. We're going to record now, so everybody knows we're recording. All right, welcome to the Buckner Terrace homeowners meeting for September 28th, 2021. This evening, we're going to keep it nice and short. We're limited to a 40-minute because we've changed the account and we will get cut off at 40 minutes. So we're going to start out with just saying welcome, and we'll do let's do the housekeeping stuff real quick. We've got the approval of the minutes. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, I am sharing my screen now. Does everybody see the minutes? All right. Do you see the minutes on the screen? All right.
Yes.
I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Seconded by.
Me.
Yeah. Walker.
Thanks, Ms. Walker, Eleanor Walker.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Eleanor Walker.
All right.
Okay.
And our second thing that we're going to entertain a motion for, our beginning balance last month was $19.74. Our ending balance was $2,258.07 as of 7/31/21.
Are we voting on those together? Or?
This is a motion to approve the minutes from, or the treasurer's report from last month.
Minutes and the treasurer report together?
No, independently.
We didn't vote.
Oh, so I'm sorry, for the minutes, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Sorry. And now for the treasurer's report. Sorry, the ending balance was $2,258.07 presented on 7/31/2021 by Mr. White. Can I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report from last month?
So moved.
Thanks, Jesse. And B, was that you for a second? Thanks, B. And all right. And all right, so then our new treasurer's report presented by Mr. White. We have a beginning balance this month of $2,258.07. Our ending balance after deposits of $172 came out to $2,420.45. And that is submitted by Mr. White, and we will vote to approve that at the next meeting, but that is what we've presented. All right, so we'll go back and we're going to do the treasurer's report. So now we got to September. Do we have Officer Hernandez on the line?
I'm here.
Looks like we do.
Excellent. Hold on one second. Let me try to figure out how to stop sharing for a second. Ooh, where'd it go? Ooh, there it is. All right. Officer Hernandez.
Hello.
All right. Everybody, this is our new NPO, Officer Hernandez. Thank you for joining this evening. And everybody give her a warm welcome. Yay.
Hey.
Welcome.
We got a few more people joining. So Officer Hernandez, if you could give us an update on the crime in our area.
Okay. To kind of let you guys know, there has been an increase in UUMBs. Basically what that means is unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. A lot of it happens since the Walmart is close to y'all, is in y'all's area, and it counts towards y'all's numbers. It looks like it's majority over there at like in the Walmart area. So if you do go and shop over there, just make sure your car is locked and you're hiding your purses or anything of value, because it seems like that's where we're having a lot of hits from. Also having a lot of possession calls, but once again, like I said, it kind of goes hand in hand. Since you guys do have, a lot of it's on San Close where the Walmart and all that stuff is. Now, I will say in the 4900 block of Clover Haven, we did have, you guys did have a assault family violence where they arrest, where they also got possession of controlled substance, and then also cruelty to non-livestock animals. So basically cruelty to an animal. So all those three offenses from on September 2nd, from the 4900 block of Clover Haven. So what it seems like, it was a family violence deal that they involved hitting the dog and stuff of that sort. We do have robbery and ag assault at the 6400 block of Everglade that happened. And let me just double check. You did have a unlawful carry of a weapon in the 8000 block of Chariot. This was September 22nd. And those are really all we have. But just a spike of UUMVs along with a lot of drugs going hand in hand with that. Do you have questions?
So one of the things that we do most of the time are like, we do our stats removing the apartments and Walmart. And as always, our stats within the neighborhood are pretty stable. Less than 1% of our homes are affected by a crime in any given month. That's been an average for many, many years. I'll post those stats that are presented by, they actually take the stats from the crime reports that you guys have, and he sorts it, removing the apartments in the complex. And that's done by Manuel Valadez. So neighbors, I'll post that on the website and share it on Nextdoor so that everybody can see it. But I haven't heard from Manuel that it's actually gone up. So while we do have some, spikes over in Walmart and in the apartment areas, the majority of offenses are not within our neighborhood. So they're pretty, our neighborhood itself, the homeowners areas, are very stable as far as the crime. So, and that's because we have vigilant neighbors that report crime when we see it. And when you see something, say something. So we appreciate that. But does anybody else have any questions for Officer Hernandez?
You remove Walmart and the which apartments?
The apartments over at Chariot. There's a bunch of apartments over there by Skyline Place. And we just remove them because it typically, those crimes are contained within those apartments and they don't really come into the neighborhood too much. So that's what we've done for the last 10 years. So the numbers are pretty stable, and I'll share that with you too, as Officer Hernandez, so that we'll have that going forward, so that you can compare that to what you guys have. Are there any other questions for Officer Hernandez? All right. Well, thank you very much.
I did have something.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're having a mammogram health fair at our station on Saturday. It's from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So they're going to be doing mammograms. We do have the flyer. I'm not sure. I know our officers already had sent it out and stuff of that sort. But basically, I don't know if you guys can even see that or not. But we're gonna have different. I know they're gonna give out a bunch of like meals, like food, like I believe it's like milk and all this other kind of stuff. We'll be giving out. I'm sorry, I was reading the comment. So they're doing like a mammogram. They're doing parenting classes, just different health fairs and stuff of that sort. So if that's something that you're interested, it's gonna be this Saturday from 8 to 1.
Officer Hernandez, can you share your contact information for anybody in the neighborhood that wants to be able to get a hold of you?
Yes. Yes, I could do that.
Do you want to type it in the chat?
Yes, I'll do that.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Anything else from anybody else?
Yes, sir. Mr. Robinson?
Yes, sir. I was concerned about the little shopping center on Jim Miller and Samuel.
Are you referring to the one that had the bank building where the old Montessori school used to be, in that corner behind O'Reilly's? No. Or which one are you talking about?
No, I'm talking the one right here at the corner.
Okay.
Jim Miller and Samuel. All the trash, and there's people living there.
Okay.
The car wash, I just went through, and the car wash, there was 2 police cars there, with somebody in handcuffs. But there's always been a problem with people living over there. and the trash. One half, but the owner of half of it, his people clean it up every morning. I see, but the other half by the Family Dollar and that car wash and the laundromat. It's always trash.
Absolutely.
That clothing donation box. Somebody's going in there and scatter clothes all over the parking lot every morning.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Mr. Robinson. I've actually called the Race for the Cure. The Coleman Foundation is who those boxes are with. I've actually spoken with them and asked them to clean them up a little bit because there's 2 boxes within a block. So we're working on getting those either removed or taken care of. And if you can send me any kind of reports that you've submitted where you've called 311 or 911, you should get a service request number. So if you have those numbers, if you could send those to me, info@bucknerterrace.org, we can forward those to our council person. We can get some resolution. Without reports, we're not going to get anything done. So we can talk about it all day long, but if you and I collectively, if we don't all do reports 311 or 911 and report the bad behavior, we're going to get no service in this area. So that's vital because the city is working on data-driven numbers. So if everybody, not just you, Mr. Robinson, because we've talked about that almost at every meeting, it's a bad corner, it's a hard corner, and the owner of the one part of the shopping center is trying to buy the remaining part of the shopping center that's not being taken care of, but they're being resistant. So we're working on that, but we'll get there with that. Okay. So that's one thing. So if everybody will try to make sure that they do some reports, that would be absolutely wonderful. And then if you could send the service request numbers to our email address for the neighborhood, info@bucknerterrace.org, that would be absolutely wonderful. I put the email in the chat, info@bucknerterrace.org. And then we'll get that. And then we'll forward that up to the council and to the city manager and make sure that we get resolution. But honestly, it's going to be a team effort because this is happening everywhere. So I don't want to offer any false promises with that. Does anybody else have anything for Officer Hernandez?
Yes, I got something, Daniel. This is Johnny Bonner.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I got a concern about the corner of Sammy and Honeycutt down there where they building a new development down in that area there.
Yes, sir.
There's so much trash from the corner down there, but they mowed the yard this past weekend. Right. And when they mowed the yard, they just mowed right over the trash. Trash is screwed everywhere. They didn't bother about picking up the trash. Okay. And I did call 311 on it and get a service report number on it. I can get that to you. Yeah, I did do that. And great. Also those, it's a bunch of, since they striped the street and put those bicycle signs and stuff in the street, down at those apartment complex, they park on both sides of the street now. And it just seems so congested in that area. And
so what happened there is the apartment complex started requiring a permit and requiring people that live there to have a permit for their car. And anybody that's staying there extra can't have their car in the complex. So they park on the street. It's a public street. There's not a lot we can do about it.
I know the majority of those cars will have paper registration tags on the cars.
If you see that they're expired, that is definitely something that Officer Hernandez can help us with. If you see that the vehicles don't move on a regular basis, like if you see one or two that don't move, like I can give you an example over by Fox Fuels on St. Francis, that there's some vehicles that haven't moved for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. I've reported them over and over and over, and we don't get any service on that. So there's a van over there. There's a lot of vehicles that need to be ticketed and towed over there. So that's hopefully something Officer Hernandez can help us with. Again, that's in front of the apartment complex right next to Fox Fuels on St. Francis.
And I have seen on occasion that they do ticket some of those cars along that area down there. That those cars are not being moved. They put tickets on them, I guess, for expired tags and registrations, I guess. And they'll be moved, and then next thing you know, they are back.
So and is what I need you guys to do is if you do see like specific cars that are there and like doesn't move, there's sometimes there's flat tires, or you see you just notice that it's sitting there the whole time, still put a 311 in. I just put my phone number and my email in the comments. So just shoot me an email, or you can call me and leave a voicemail and I'll check it. But give me the service number to exactly that, so that we can make sure it's taken care of. Because like I'm sure that Joseph explained last month, is that there's only 5 of us working right now. And especially with the fair, we have 2 of us at the fair just about every day. So we have 3 of us. And I don't know if you guys had heard, but we had an officer who passed away from COVID, who was battling COVID for about 3 or 4 months. So now we're pulled that way. So and then the fair and our normal duties. So we're just really stretched out. So sometimes 311s are more on the lower part of the priority list, depending on our events and certain things we have going on. So if you do a 311, especially in regards to the parking, go ahead and just shoot me an email with the service number, so I can make sure to look out for that one specifically, so that we can go out there and either, like Mr. Wood said, we can go and tag it. We can put the 24 hours, we can tow it. I know for a while there, our Dallas pound was full at capacity. So for a while there, we weren't able to tow pretty much anything unless somebody truly got arrested, but we had to actually release a car if we could. So if that ever happens, I'll explain to you guys why a lot of stuff isn't being towed again.
So Officer Hernandez, can you put your city cell phone for the folks as well, so that they can contact you via the cell phone?
Yeah, let me
That would be great.
I just got it. So let me.
Is that not the number that's in the chat?
That's our desk.
Desk, okay.
Yeah.
So that would be great. Thank you for that. Excellent. Well, we do have to move forward because we are limited on time. We have about 20 minutes left because we have a 40-minute window this evening before everybody gets kicked out of the thing. You know how Zoom does that, where they give a free account 40 minutes and then they say goodbye and they knock everybody out. So I just wanted to be, aware of that ahead of time. But one thing that we do have to do, we have to have nominations for the 2022 board members. So is there anybody that would like to entertain some motions for upcoming year for board members? We won't vote on them tonight, but anybody that wants to put their nomination in, or if anybody has any nominations of who they would like to see on the officers for the Buckner Terrace 2022, you can make that nomination and then we'll vote. We'll put them on the ballot and we'll vote on them at the next meeting. So if there's anybody want to nominate themselves?
You want to do it again, Tom?
Mr. White, I want to nominate Mr. White to be a treasurer.
I think they're on mute.
Oh, no, you're not on mute. I hear you. Is that a yes? We appreciate that.
Okay. I thought I was on mute.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I'll be available if no one else wants to be the treasurer.
We appreciate that, Mr. White.
It's not a very demanding job, but just have to keep track of Daniel's expenses.
Oh,
I know, right? Yeah, that's mean, right? I work
Now
hard.
back
I
on
work
mute.
hard for y'all. Mr. Armstrong, would you like to nominate yourself again for Mr. Secretary? Or, upgrade yourself to, something else if you can find somebody else to do secretary?
I'll be secretary if no one else wants to be.
Okay. Do we have any nominations for anybody else want to be chair or co-chair? Anybody? We have Mr. Mack that has been the co-chair for the last couple of years. I haven't asked him if he'd like to continue. I hadn't talked to him this week. But we can keep the nominations open, and we'll publish the nominations at the before the next meeting, if that's okay with everybody. Anybody? All right, so we'll bring you a slate of candidates at the next meeting. And then, all right, so we do have a special guest. Her name is Sandra Bowie. She is with the city of Dallas. Sandra, are you still with us? Miss Bowie? Miss Bowie.
He's still signed in, but
She's
maybe
she's
muted.
there.
If you're talking, we can't hear you because you're muted.
I asked her to unmute. She might have stepped away for a second. She is.
I'm here.
There she is.
Woo!
All right. She's with.
I was on another screen. Thank you.
She is with Forward Dallas. And she's they changed the names of everything. So Sandra, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself and tell everybody what you're here for.
Sure. And it's so good to be back with you all. It's been a few years since I've attended a Buckner Terrace meeting, and I'm going to be very brief, and I can always come back at another time. I want to let you know that the Planning and Urban Design is the long range planning of the city of Dallas, and it is now time for us to do a comprehensive land use plan. The last one that we did for us, Dallas, was in 2006. And so you know that a lot has changed for Dallas since 2006, and we have grown tremendously. So this plan is guided by and for residents and stakeholders of Dallas. It's going to create a future land use map so that then we can really make better zoning decisions. And what I'm so excited that there is an implementation part of this, so that not only is this going to be a plan that's going to have beautiful maps and we can identify different zoning issues, but it is also going to have an implementation strategy so that there will be annual check-ins. There is actually a CPC committee that has been formed that's going to be looking at the progress that we have made with land use zoning, really to change and eliminate the disparities of zoning and land use that have taken place. So, what are some of the issues we talk about? The growth is happening. Growth, current land use doesn't represent current desires. There's kind of a disconnect with all of these different plans that the city of Dallas has undergone with Office of Cultural Affairs, our CCAP plan with environmental quality and sustainability, and transportation with our parks department. And so I look at land use as being the foundation for all those plans, that we can then integrate all those plans together. And so, what does land use talk about and address? It talks about affordable housing and mixed income neighborhoods. It talks about displacement and gentrification. It talks about transportation and safety, poor health outcomes, as well as industrial land use needs. So those are the types of topics that we talk about that are directly tied to land use. And so we just started in August. In the month of October, you're going to, we will send you through our resource email monthly events that will be taking place. We're kind of doing them in October. They will be virtual. We also have an ambassador program that we're looking for right now that is kind of volunteers that would help us facilitate discussions, that would be advocates. If you are a uncover planning nerd and want to learn more about city planning, this is a great opportunity where you can grow in that area. And so those applications are very simple, and the deadline is October 15th. And then there is an upcoming kind of forum with Teresa O'Donnell, who was a former planning director of the city of Dallas. She's moved on to Vancouver. And so she's going to come back and share some wisdom on what Dallas needs to be addressing as we embark on this really huge initiative that, really plans for Dallas for the next 20 years. So that's it, Daniel. Thank you. I can take questions, or
So what
email me.
like, definitely, I think we want you to come back when we have more time to
Okay.
discuss it. I think that neighbors, this is a really important task. If there's anybody up to volunteering and helping with this, I think it's an important thing. It's going to shape how our neighborhood grows. It's going to shape the types of businesses that can come into our neighborhood. It's going to shape what the facades of the neighborhood look like, the businesses. They can put restrictions on, the building materials of the different, like if you go to Plano, not to say we want to look like Plano, but if you go to Plano in a certain area, every business has to have white letters on the side of their building, and there's no other deviations because that's in their code and their zoning and all of that. So this is the kind of thing that they can do, that kind of stuff. Not to say that we would do that restrictive, but the types of business, like, everybody noticed, remember that daiquiri bar that was going to come into the old KFC or next to the old KFC or the KFC? That's not going to come in anymore. That's a rice box. But just to give you guys a heads up, we got about 4 minutes and they're going to bump us up out of here. So I didn't want to labor on that, but let's come back. Let's visit it again. If anybody wants more information, please do reach out to me and I'll connect you to Miss Bowie, which I know she would love everybody's input. Does anybody else have anything else that they wanted to bring up before we all get bumped up out of here? Because we're going to get bumped up out of here just as real as the day is long, because Zoom don't play on their free account. Anybody? Excellent. So we're working on the first part of the zoning for the Timberlawn project. Has been approved, so they're moving that forward. The name that kind of rose to the top of that development, and I don't know that they've picked this finally, but Samuel Heights at Buckner Terrace is seemingly the one that is what most people seem to like. I'm mad that I didn't think of it. Does anybody else have anything else? I know this is short, quick, and it's
Yes.
Go ahead.
I have a question. How do you get access to the recording?
I'm sorry?
How do you get access to the, I'm sorry, Junior, just a minute.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
How do you get access to the recordings for the meeting?
We put them all on YouTube. So if you go to
I didn't get
Buckner
that.
Terrace, if you go to bucknerterrace.org, you can find them on there.
Daniel, I can't hear you.
Buckner,
I'm having cognitive
Buckner-
trouble today. I'm sorry.
bucknerterrace.org,
Okay.
bucknerterrace.org, and on YouTube.
And so
if you go to Buckner
and
Terrace,
all of the recordings are there?
the recordings that we have are there, yes.
Okay.
We just
Okay.
started sharing them, so there's about 4, 5, 6 of them there, and I'll
Okay.
upload this one afterwards. So,
Okay.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Does
Will
anybody
you
else?
also be putting the telephone numbers for different people in there?
I will
Like
list,
what's in the chat line?
I will list her phone numbers in
Mhm.
the on the website.
Okay.
I'll add our
Thank you.
PO's officer information on the website, like we had glasses on there. So anything else?
Thank you.
All right. Before they just bump us up out of here, y'all, I'll take a motion to adjourn, because sure as day is long, it's going to be coming back. So the daiquiri bar next to KFC is gone. It's coming back as a rice box again. Rice box, another Chinese restaurant's coming back in there.
Well,
So
good.
that's what we know so far. But anything else?
Wasn't
Yeah.
that what was there before?
Yes.
Did the
So-
owner just decide to try something new and then back
I don't know.
out?
I don't know.
Very weird.
No idea. So, but I just know that they put the rice box signs back up. So
Okay.
that's
Well,
what
Have you
we
ever
know.
eaten there? Is it any good?
Nope, never ate there.
What's
So-
going on with the new barbecue place?
I don't
I-
know. I tried it one time. It was overpriced and it wasn't very good, so I didn't go back.
Yeah, the sauce was very sweet and the place didn't, aesthetically, it didn't look that good.
Yeah, the potato
Like
was
it-
about 3 days old, I think, when I ate
Oh,
it.
no.
So
I
I-
think they're gone though.
but then, but to be all honest though, other people have ate there and loved it. So, you know,
Oh, well.
give it your shot yourself. Don't
I
take our
did.
words for it. So,
Mm.
but all right. Thank y'all for joining us
Thank you.
tonight. I think they're gonna bump us out of here any minute. So let's go ahead
Motion
and
to carry,
say
motion
good-
so moved.
all in
Sec-
favor. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.